Well, good morning, everybody. I'm just going live this morning to talk about the Feel Great system. Boy, did I forget to put something in my comments. I probably did. Whatever, we're going to do this. So I'm just going to wait for a second for both applications to get everybody notified. And good morning, good morning. I'm here going to be talking about the Feel Great system today and what it is. Just answer questions for people. So the Feel Great system is a nutritional system that allows us to fill in the gaps of today's modern food diet. So right now, the problem is that only 12% of American adults are actually metabolically healthy. And that's alarming. And you know what? Other scientists will tell you, metabolic scientists, specialists will say that 8 out of 10 people have insulin resistance, which leads to this metabolic disorders and all of these other issues that we're having. Not all of them, but a good majority. With that, cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of death globally. 17.9 million lives each year to cardiovascular disease. And we're seeing more and more obesity in children, especially in the US. Our food is imperfect and we're just filling in those gaps. So what is the system and why am I telling you all of that stuff? Well, I guess we're going to continue on with the problem. The heart disease remains the number one killer. Diabetes and dementia are now in the top 10 as well. And let's take a look at this list. So this is the top 10 causes of death in higher income countries. So we're looking at all of the ones in red are preventable, are lifestyle related. So 9 out of 10 of these causes, leading causes of death, could be prevented with lifestyle changes. But what does that mean? Well, again, we're going to go over some insulin resistance because those same scientists that I talked about will say that insulin resistance is likely the root cause of almost all disorders of those that are preventable in the world today. So insulin resistance, you end up with the inability to lose weight. You constantly have hunger, especially hunger for sugars. You get migraines and body aches and pain, fatigue, and upper abdominal obesity. Those are only a few of the symptoms. I've done videos with symptoms for insulin resistance, and it's insane what this is causing in our bodies right now. But so some other cues are if you get tired after eating, if you're having uncontrolled cravings, if you're getting high cholesterol readings from your doctor, if you're feeling bloated after eating, if you're just having this hunger that I talked about and that difficulty losing weight, and your body fat percentage is higher. Now, I want to say too that one of the big clues, you do not have to be obese to have insulin resistance. A lot of the times this cue is going to be show up in your gut. So if your gut's starting to protrude and get big, even if the rest of you is thin, that's a sign that there could be insulin resistance. Yes, there are other things it could be, but insulin resistance is at the top of that list. So what do we do about it? Well, there are some main solutions. The whole calories in, calories out thing. That does work, but it's not the only factor. You can do keto, which seems to work really well. You can do intermittent fasting, which I totally advocate for. There's meal replacements out there and weight loss clinics, boxed meals and meal plans. But really, most of these are giving you temporary success. Like they're not sustainable and you can't keep up with them. So you try a diet, you get some success and then you fall off or you stop and then you fail. And then you just keep on down this cycle until you just are like I was. You're like, what the hell? Nothing is working. And I'm just going to give up because some of these things do give you temporary success. Even if you stick with it, your body starts to adapt and be like, I still am not getting what I need. And the biggest issue is that Willpower is at the basis of most of our diet paradigms. So it just isn't going to happen in our daily life today for most people. Hey, Della. So you see this guy here, stretched thin. I mean, our modern lives are so busy and our food choices are different, and not everyone can homestead or grow organic fruits and vegetables or, do those things. So the modern food environment is imperfect. It has a ton of gaps in it. And we're running and we're grabbing this food because we're stressed and our work is demanding and our family's demanding and kids are in sports and all of this other stuff. And that does add to your stress. And it cuts down on your time, and all of that gives you decision fatigue. It's real. And what happens when you have decision fatigue is you just take the choice that's there because you're so tired and stretched thin anyway. So when we take a look at what's going on here, these top companies are the ones in charge of our food. And their main goal is to make money. And these guys too. I mean, do you think that most of these companies, do you think that the top of their company goal is to keep you healthy? Or is it to feed you? Is it to give you food that's going to be delicious and that you're going to want to come back for and that you're going to stay hungry for it? I bet that's their goal. Well, when you look at our foods, these potatoes, this is what potatoes used to look like. And lipstick, or this is what they look like now. Carrots used to be, and I remember pulling carrots as a child, and they were never as big as we have today. Raspberries, I went to one of my childhood homes, and our old raspberry patch was there last summer, as a matter of fact. And the raspberries were the biggest ones were the size of the tip of my pinky, and now they're the size of the tip of my thumb. So what do we do? And then whole grain processing. They're processing out the fiber in our food. And so that just makes it harder and harder for you to be able to digest your food, for you to utilize the nutrients that are in the food. So our approach is simple. The Feel Great system is simply designed to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be with your nutrition. And in doing that, it allows your body to start functioning like it's meant to function. So we're not giving some chemical additive to your body that's making change. We're simply giving your body what it's been lacking so that you can function in the best way possible. And that whole system is based on these two food-based products and a time-based eating pattern. So this is not a program or a diet. This is a system. So you eat it, you use it every day. These are real food products. So you wake up in the morning, you have your tea, hot or cold. My daughter loves hers hot. She's a coffee drinker, and I love mine cold. You can just, Amy, I will write your name down and I'll get back to you as soon as this live is over, or you can go to the link in my bio. There's several links there. One of them is to get in contact with me. And when I get your number, I will reach out to you and set up a meeting to talk with you, because it's important to me to address people's needs personally and let you decide if this is right for you. There's never any stress when I talk with you. So I will write your name down, and then if you want to, just go to that link in my bio and I will reach out to you. Let me get this written down, guys. There we go. So you drink that tea first thing in the morning. It tastes like a lemon tea. And like I'm drinking mine right now. You guys will see that in a little bit. Then the second part of it is you're going to have this multi-fiber complex. And it's not just fiber. It's not a pooping fiber. This is so much more complete. And I'm going to go over that in a second. But you drink that 5 to 10 minutes before your first two biggest meals. And then it tastes like an orange creamsicle. So this is the basis. You drink that tea first thing in the morning. The intermittent fasting, if you eat dinner about 6 o'clock at night, now your body's in fasting mode about 7 o'clock at night. So then you just wait 12 hours. Well, you're sleeping most of that anyway. So you get up in the morning, and around 7 in the morning, you have your tea, which does not break your fast. Your tea absolutely does not break your fast. It doesn't have calories in it. It's packed with nutrients. And that's the gold with it. The tea gives you nutrients, and it has components that can get to the brain, so it affects your mood and your mental clarity. And when you're nourished with nutrients, you're not hungry. Your body most of the time is calling for hunger because it needs nutrients, not necessarily because it needs calories always. So we take care of that in the morning with the tea. The tea does help keep you feeling full. It gives you mental clarity. It boosts your mood. And then you can make it through the day for the next 4 hours until your first meal. And you have a balance. Now, at this meal, I say prioritize protein, keep the carbs down. So what's happening, we're following this yellow line here, which is simply your sugars, and the gray line is your insulin spikes. So by adding less sugars in and focusing on fats and proteins, it allows our insulin to come back down. Wait 4 to 6 hours and have your second meal with the balance in front of it again. So now what happens if you get breakthrough hunger and you're hungry in the afternoon? It's easy. You just have another tea in the afternoon. For the first 4 or 5 months on the system, I didn't know you could do this, so I just had the two balance and one tea. When I found out, because I had chronic fatigue, that I could have more than one Unimate, I often drink 2 in a day now. So that's how you do that. You just add the Unimate. It's going to curb your hunger, keep you away from snacking and pumping up that insulin level again. And then I get asked all the time, well, what if I want to have breakfast? Well, then again, you can have more than 2 balance. So you're just going to have your Unimate before your breakfast. You're going to have your balance. And again, I'm going to invite you to stay away from the high carby cereals and all of that for breakfast, but focus on proteins there. Then you're just going to have a balance before your lunch meal or your midday meal, and one before dinner. It's super flexible, sustainable, and it just makes living life today easy. So let's talk about the balance really quick. The balance is that pre-meal drink, and it's formulated to provide critical fiber and support. Again, this is not Metamucil, Benefiber. Those are just psyllium husk, really, and they don't do you a lot of good for what we're talking about. In fact, they're not made for that at all. So this helps you feel full. It slows the digestion of carbs and fats. It helps you maintain healthy blood glucose and insulin levels, cholesterol and triglyceride levels. My tongue is moving faster than my brain, or my brain is moving faster than my tongue, one or the other. But so then the gold in this is, you look here, these are 4 different patented formulas in the balance. 4 different patented formulas. You're not going to find this anywhere else. We've studied this for 12 years to come up with this blend. And those 4 patented formulas are the Biosphere Fiber, the 7X technology, the Cardio Matrix, which means we're doing good for your heart, and the vitamin complex. Look at that. I get asked all the time about vitamins. There is a complete profile of vitamins as far as your major vitamins in this formula. They work well with the formula, and that's why they're in there. But it also means that you're not now supplementing with other things. And in this, you're getting this mix of real food fibers. There's soluble and insoluble fibers. And the gold with that is that those soluble and insoluble fibers, when you're drinking it that 5 to 10 minutes before you eat, they get in. As soon as they start touching your gut juices, they start to form this gelatin mass that helps you feel full. For me, I have an acidic stomach. It helps soothe my stomach and calm all of that down, so I don't have those acidic problems in my gut. But then when you start to take in the food, it's going to encapsulate, or I call it mediate, those carbs and fats that are going to your system. So they're not going straight to your liver and your bloodstream. And that's what's helping us reduce these insulin levels and reduce fat. So the Unimate, this drink, I love this drink. I mean, I can't be without either one of them. And the amazing thing is, they're in little packets that are about the size of a business card, easy to keep in your pocket or in your, ladies, in your purse. But that Unimate helps you feel great all day. You can have it at any time, hot or cold. You don't get a crash, you don't get jitters, you don't get any of that from this drink. Not like some of these super high caffeine drinks out there. It does suppress your hunger and cravings because it's allowing you to start using your stored fat for fuel. So now you're fueled by that fat you're wanting to get rid of, and you're not hungry. And it also helps, like I said, boost your mood and physical performance. It helps relieve anxiety. I'm getting back to the gym, and I've noticed my endurance and stamina and my strength increases week to week in the gym are just crazy while I'm using this product. It promotes healthy digestion, and one of the main things I love this company for is their science. So this Unimate is a tea that's grown in Argentina, and it's hand picked. This is not machine picked tea. This is not something that they're just going through and grabbing whatever is there and they call it that because that's what it is. We're looking for specific leaves at a specific time to pick and process for our tea, because at that time and those leaves that these farmers and these harvesters are trained to look for, it has the best components in it for what we're wanting. Then we fire roast it. Fire roasting allows these constituents in this plant to be released so that we can utilize it. I say it's like spinach. You can eat raw spinach for iron, but you're not really getting any iron unless you cook it. So it's kind of the same with this plant. Then we take it to an extraction process where we're taking those nutritional components out of the bulk of the tea, and then we concentrate it. So it's something like 375 cups of tea you would have to drink to get the amount of constituents and nutrition that's in this one packet of tea. And then the last step that the company takes it through is a step called hyper pure purification. There is a company in Switzerland that has created a lab that does exactly that. And what it does is it's taking out all of the environmental toxins, or a majority of them, as much as we can get, so that you're assured that you're getting the cleanest product possible. So tips for this system. We want you to eliminate fruit juice and soda. Diet soda, sugar-free soda is okay, but those juices are just giving you a straight shot of sugar that's going to spike your insulin levels and start the problems all over again. If you want to have fruit, have the whole fruit. The juice is just really sugar without the fiber to help you process it. And that's part of the problem of our modern diets today, is they've stripped the fiber out. So the second key is use Unimate to replace snacks and use it with your workouts. I do this all the time. Prioritize protein. That just means that when you look at your plate, you want to make sure that you have a good amount of protein on your plate. It's an old tip, but I remember one gentleman used to say your protein portion should be the size of your fist. If it's not that big, then you're not getting enough protein. I find this with women more often than not, that part of their issue is they're just not getting enough protein in. And then take regular measurements. We're looking for real changes in your body. Muscle by volume weighs more than fat. This body increases your lean mass by 12 to 13% and can increase your strength by 10%. So take measurements and don't pay so much attention to the scale, because you're likely building lean mass and losing fat. So do your clothes fit better? What do those measurements look like? For me, my measurements have gone down drastically and my clothes fit better. I'm in like 3 or 4 sizes smaller. It's crazy good. But pay attention to those things. I also tell my tribe to pay attention to the small wins. Things like lessening of headaches, their skin clearing up, the swelling going down, skin tags gone, the discoloration on the skin gone. Pay attention to those things, because that is going to give you the mental clarity that it's working and that you're doing good for your body. So, are there any side effects? Well, the only real side effects to this are that when you start utilizing the system, you are not used to having this kind of fiber in your system. You're not used to having this kind of nutrients in your system. So you may get some gas, bloating, and some distension at first. That's a good sign. For most people, it lasts about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Some people, it's lasted about a month because their gut was so unhealthy that it just took time for it to get strong enough. I have tips on how to get past that. And when you purchase through me, not only are you getting the lowest price guarantee, but you get my coaching at any time. I have people texting me. If I'm awake, I'm answering. So how long do you have to use it for is another common question. Well, you're going to use this for as long as you're upright and above ground. It's just like you wouldn't eat lunch today and say, okay, I fueled my body. I don't ever have to eat again. Or you wouldn't put one tank of gas in your brand new car and be like, this car's going to run now till the wheels fall off because I put a tank of gas in. This is nutrients for life. You're going to do it every day as long as our food system is like it is. When will you see results? That's very independent. It depends on your health, your specific needs, your specific diagnoses and issues. I've had people lose weight and see change within the first week. I've had people not lose weight for 6 to 8 weeks, but most people will see some results within the first week or two if they're paying attention to all the things. Like my mental clarity was back within the first week. My energy was back. I went to the doctor and my blood pressure was down. Just a number of things. And then as time went on, I started seeing more and more change that I didn't even expect. So results are independent. They're depending on you, how well you're following the system, and what's going on with your body. So what makes our products different from other products on the market? And why am I so excited about these products? Most companies do not handle their own product development or supply chain. Most companies and most supplement companies out there are all batch processed in one facility and different labels put on the product depending on the company that's purchasing it. But they do not process and engineer their own products. We have our own production facilities. We have science facilities that are constantly looking at our products and to make sure that they are the most efficacious products that we can put out. And they're just they take really great care. They test our products. So if they're saying on the box that it has a certain amount of nutrients in the product, then it's tested. Every batch is tested before it goes out to the market. And if it doesn't meet those standards, then it doesn't go out. So again, we have dedicated in-house scientists and specialists. We have third-party certifications and partnerships. A number of third parties have randomly tested our products, and oftentimes, like with our omega-3s, they come out as being the best in the market. And these products that make up the Feel Great system do have not only the science backing up, but there's been clinical studies with leading hospitals and universities, places like the Cleveland Clinic and the University of Sydney. You can look it up and find all of that easily online. They're patented, and the ingredients are sourced directly from the farmers. We're not batch purchasing our products from anywhere. They're our own farmers that we have contracts with, and it's our own facilities processing them. So again, we have our own manufacturing facilities because our company wants to make sure that you're getting the highest quality product available. And with that, you get a 90-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. We give you a 90-day guarantee because we want people to be on it for 90 days or utilize it for 90 days so that you can make sure that you're getting the best results possible. Like I said, some people are not going to see the results that they're looking for in the first 30 days. Your body has to adjust. And please remember, your body didn't get sick in a week or a month. It took years for you to get sick. I'm not saying it's going to take years to start reversing that, but give it more than 30 days. Give it the full 90 days. You have a money back guarantee. Again, when you purchase through me, you're getting the lowest price that anybody gets on this product. I don't get it at any lower price than you. The person who brought me into the company doesn't get it any better price. You're getting the best price that anybody can get. And then we have our triple testing process to ensure that you're getting the highest quality product every single time. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. There are a few other things here, but we can go over if anybody has any questions about how to save money on it or how to turn it into a living like I've done. I'm more than happy to address those as well. But as far as the system itself, does anyone have questions? Is there anything I can answer for anyone? My story is that in late 2020, I was diagnosed with diabetes. I had been sick for a while, and my doctor finally, just said, "Hey, I have to diagnose you with diabetes." We already knew that I had Hashimoto's, that I had PCOS, that I had chronic fatigue, I had arthritis, I had a number of other things going on. But the three diagnoses we were focused on at that point were the diabetes, hypertension, and hyperlipidemia. I later found out that my liver panels were bad and that I was heading into some liver issues. But within 3 months on the system, those numbers all reversed, including the liver panel. It took a little while for my A1C to normalize. I started at 7.4 and I went down to 6.1, I believe, on the first set of tests. They're all packed up. I'm in the middle of moving. And then now they're back down to normal range, not even at pre-diabetic range. So my triglycerides are normal now, and those liver panels are normal now. So, and that's all I did. I didn't change my way of eating drastically. Of course, the things that I talked about, prioritizing protein, not drinking sugary drinks, and utilizing intermittent fasting. So I cut it back to 2 meals a day and stopped the snacking. But other than that, I eat the foods I love. And that's all I did was add this system, and it made all of those changes. So I think with that, if we don't have any questions, I'm going to sign off for now. I'll be back later this week. And if you have questions, just inbox me because I'm more than happy to answer questions at any time. Have a great day, guys.